teas. You have terpenes that can be naturally grown. So, you have those that are naturally grown. Like, say, for instance, if I say, okay, I have, I have peppermint oil included in my 100% natural peppermint oil included in the CBD. That's a terpene. That right there is a terpene. There's different type of terpenes that do different things. Okay, so then, and so that's what they're saying. How do we blend all of these things together? So because of their science, now you got CBD with other things in it, CBD infused like freeze and things of that nature. It's because of their science that if you follow the science, that's the most important thing. Not just coming up with formulations that don't do anything, coming up with formulations that are followed by science. That's why I say our brand is built on science, because I'm studying the science. It's very important to me. Okay, so let's get back to the interview. So if it's something that seems kind of complicated, I'm going to try my best to break it down. So Leafly says back, what do you think the future of cannabis research hold? So Dr. Haynes replied back, I can see two different directions. One will focus on the production of derivatives of action compounds that could be patented and sold in order to make as much money as possible. The other directions put patients before profit and focuses on the use of the whole plant and the synergistic effects of its compounds. And that's what I'm then talking about. Leafly replied, what are phytocannabinoids? So here we go. Phytocannabinoids are naturally, so Dr. Haynes says, phytocannabinoids are naturally occurring cannabinoids found in the cannabis plant. Phytocannabinoids are able to interact with our body's natural system because, why? Okay? And so he says they're able to interact with our body's natural system because their makeups and behaviors mimic endocannabinoids. Now listen, remember I told you that before. Endocannabinoids are inside of you already, of your endocannabinoid system. Cannabinoids found in the plant, they are able to mimic what our bodies already have inside. Okay, so then when they say you have a deficiency of this, and that, and maybe you take something, it may help. And so that's the science that's being worked on right now. Phytocannabinoids have been found to inhibit the breakdown of endocannabinoids and prolong endocannabinoid actions. So they're saying the actual formulations that come from the cannabis plants have been found to inhibit the breakdown of endocannabinoids and prolong endocannabinoid actions. According to an article published in the U.S. National Library of Medicine and the National Institute of Health, to date, as many as 113 phytocannabinoids have been isolated from cannabis. And that's the end of the article. Researchers have shown that phytocannabinoids offer various benefits for cigarette addiction, insomnia, anxiety, epilepsy, and there are FDA-approved drugs actually for this already, for epilepsy, Parkinson's disease, schizophrenia, and hypertension. But again, you can't just say, okay, I've got this diagnosis, so I'm going to go and grab some CBD. No, you need to continue to treat with your physician. You need to talk to your physician and say, could this be something that I could do? And it needs to be monitored by a doctor, because a doctor has to be at the forefront if someone's dealing with these type of things, and you have to seek medical advice. You cannot just, you should say, okay, is it okay if I incorporate this? This is what I have. Doctor say, okay, well, let me see what you're taking. Is there a lab report? Okay, lab report accessible. Scan the bottle. Lab report is there. Okay, I can see it. Take the bottle. There should be a lab report that can be scanned on that bottle when the doctor sees it, and he can actually put that in your medical chart that this is what you're taking, so people know what's really going on with you, and you're not self-medicating and self-treating. But it's always good to let people know, okay, I want to look at a natural approach in conjunction with what we're already doing. Is it okay if I incorporate this? That's the way you want to really go about it. So now let's get to our next part, CBD and free radicals. And so the process of taming free radicals to reduce oxidative stress. And so free radicals, we talked about that earlier on, what they really are. That's when the cells break apart and they become diseased. And so that's what they are from the neurons. So that's what really happens. You got to go back into listen to part 1, 2, and 3 to get to this, where we are today. So if you missed it, go back and listen to that when you finish listening to this. And it's actually in this podcast session. So go back to the previous podcasts. And they're free to listen to. The process of taming free radicals to reduce oxidative stress is part of keeping the body healthy. Researchers are just learning that cannabinoids like CBD can help boost the endocannabinoid system, letting it work harder at reducing free radicals, oxidative stress, and the inflammation that these things cause. So let's dive deep into why this is. According to a recent article I've been reading in the National Library of Medicine on antioxidative and anti-inflammatory properties of cannabidiol dated December 25th, 2019, this article reads, okay, and this, I'm just sticking straight to the science today because I really think that more of us should understand how things work in our bodies before we take them. I really think that we should understand the science of things just because someone said, but at least I'm doing my part by bringing you the science. Okay, I'm doing my contribution by really bringing you the science as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, this article is called Oxidative and Anti-Inflammatory Properties of Cannabidiol. Cannabidiol CBD is one of the main pharmacologically active phytocannabinoids of cannabis sativa. CBD is non-psychoactive, but exerts a number of beneficial pharmacological effects, including anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. The chemistry and pharmacology of CBD, as well as various molecular targets, including cannabinoid receptors and other components of endocannabinoid system, with which it interacts, have been extensively studied. In addition, preclinical and clinical studies have contributed to our understanding of the therapeutic potential of CBD for many diseases, including diseases associated with oxidative stress. Here, we review the main biological effects of CBD and its synthetic derivatives, focusing on cellular, antioxidant, and anti-inflammatory properties of CBD. The reason why we're going so deep in this is to help people distill the myth that taking CBD will get you high. It's like taking pot. Many people are taking CBD because of its natural therapeutic medicinal benefits to the human body, the endocannabinoid system, which is supreme by science, said by science, to all 70 systems in the body. Today, I want to help you connect the dots and understand why I myself started a CBD company. I have my own story of sickness and illness, which I am now in remission after taking my daily regimen. Okay. And so I wanted to share, if you can help someone with the quality of life, and my quality of life has changed tremendously compared to what it was before. I was really going through a lot. I was going through a lot, and, I was able to be weaned off medication. I was able to learn to eat better. I had to learn to eat to live. That's what I had to do. Okay, I had to stop living to eat, and I had to learn to eat to live. There's a difference, because you're thinking about what you're putting in your body and how your body reacts to it. Is this too much sugar? Is this too much, is this too much sugar for me? Is this too much starch for my body? Is this meat too heavy for me? Those are the things that I started to look at, and my body changed when I started to become more focused on the foods that I was eating, along with plant-based things that I wanted to have, teas and of that nature, things like that have flavonoids in it, that are anti-inflammatories, all those different type of things that I started to take, natural things, start growing my own herbs, crushing them up, all kind of good stuff. So now let's go back to the article. I just want you to kind of think about your nutrition as I'm reading about this. I want you to keep that at your focus, your nutrition, plant-based stuff. And CBD is plant-based. All of it, any of it, plant-based. So this is what we're working on. Okay, so let's get to it. The endocannabinoid system. So I read you about that article, the one article. So now let's get to this main one. This is a long one, and so it's going to take up most of our time. So I'm probably going to do an hour and a half today. Total. And if I go over, oh well, I'm reading. So this one blew me away, and I want to share it with you. Is the endocannabinoid system our universal regulator? That's the name of the article by the Young Journal of Investigators, Arthur Chad A. Salaberry and Lori A. Stern. Institution, Department of Biochemistry, Molecular Biology, Colorado State University. 111 MR Building, Fort Collins, Colorado, 80523. Nova Southeastern University, 3301 College Avenue, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Okay, this is the actual paper, and I'm going to start reading it. The endocannabinoid system. There are multiple known endocannabinoids that play a role in the ECS. ECS is short for endocannabinoid. All of them seem to play a role in anti-proliferative, anti-inflammatory, and anti-metastatic effects. And this is by Maddie. This is a paper by Mattia and Danick, written in 2016. Additionally, it appears, this is an excerpt they took from there. Additionally, it appears that they have a role in neurotransmitters, immune system, and mitochondrial function. There are two main endocannabinoids, anandamide and arachidinyl glycerol. Okay, and we refer that to 2-AG. So I don't want to get too scientific and lose you. Anandamide is an endocannabinoid in the human body with the chemical formula C22H37NO2. No, 37NO2. It is referred to as the bliss molecule. It can be released when one eats chocolate after craving. Referred Science Research Mackey 2008. Anandamide may be very important. Anandamide may be a very important cannabinoid to manipulate for controlling pain stimuli. This is due to an interesting quality of anandamide in which the concentration of anandamide dictates the type and number of receptors activated. Anandamide also has the ability to make or break short-term connections between nerve cells that directly affect memory. So we're working with, remember peripheral, we're working with nerve cells directly affecting memory. This is a speculation whether anandamide dulls and removes not only physical pain, but psychological discomfort as well. Is so this could be utilized to help individuals with post-traumatic stress disorder. This argument has particular merit as repression is a well-known coping mechanism. Dr. Petrolacelli's 1998. Furthermore, anandamide has been shown to have anti-proliferative effects in breast cancer. It has also been shown to bind with a strong affinity to the CB1 receptors, which may play a greater role in the analgesic effect of endocannabinoids. Okay. Arachidinyl glycerol is the most prevalent endocannabinoid in the human body. Its chemical structure is quite similar to anandamide, having the carbon backbone but a different R group, C23H3804, Gosarek 2000, the year 2000, he put this in a paper, is considered a full agonist of both the CB1 and CB2 receptors, playing a major role in the ECS due to its high expression in peripheral immune cells. It seems to play a large role in anti-inflammation through immune suppression. Nonetheless, it also functions as a psychoactive endocannabinoid when it binds to CB1 receptors with the brain. Remember, you have CB1 and you have CB2. Remember, though, that you have two going on in the body, okay? And they go on to state ECS is one of, if not the most important system in the body. Its role in the hemostatic function of the body is undeniable, and its sphere of influence is incredible. Additionally, it also plays a major role in apoptotic disease, mitochondrial function, and brain function. Its contribution is more than maintaining homeostasis. It also has a profound ability in regulation. A lot of people, I'm just saying this now, a lot of people, when you say, well, what is homeostasis? People, just ask somebody, what is homeostasis? And what does that have to do with CBD? And what is ECS? And if they're selling this stuff and they can't break that stuff down to you, walk away. Quick, fast. Okay, so let's get back. Working in retrograde fashion with a general inhibitory nature, ECS, the endocannabinoid system, can act as a kill switch. However, it has been shown to play an inhibitory or stimulatory role based on the size of the influx of the cannabinoid, resulting in biomodule regulation. Furthermore, due to the nature of the rate of degradation of the cannabinoid, it does not have as many long-term side effects as most of the current drugs on the market. The ECS may not only provide answers for diseases with no cures, but it could change the way we approach medicine. The system will allow us to change our focus from invasive pharmacological interventions, i.e. SSRI, for depression,